Whenever you sell a new business owner, I personally believe it's really, really important to get them to understand the strategy behind what we do, which is rank and rent. And so for a couple of reasons, I believe that. Number one is so when they talk to the customer, they understand that the customer is coming in from a website that doesn't say their company name. So when they answer the phone, they're not going to completely screw up the call. That's number one. But also, I want to show them what we're doing so they can see how this is mutually beneficial, but also plant the seed and let them know, hey bro, hey dude, hey ma'am, if you ever leave me, these are my leads, this is my website, and I'll go to a competitor if I need to, okay? So there's a couple of reasons why I do that. And so here's how I explain rank and rent to a business owner, okay? And it's really, really simple. So I usually am showing my screen, but I can also explain it on the phone, and I'm gonna do it here just talking to you. But I explain it using two analogies. The first thing I say is hey, Mr. Business Owner or Mrs. Business Owner, have you played the game Monopoly? Like, you know, I'm actually talking about the board game. You've played it, right? Okay, cool. So what we're doing here is just Monopoly. It's digital Monopoly. And what I mean by that, sir, is like when you're playing the game, if you were to explain the game to somebody new and somebody new was playing and you said, and they asked you what was the strategy to win, what was a good way to win the game, you'd probably tell them, go and buy as many properties as you possibly can. Oh, and if you can buy the boardwalk, the park place, the expensive ones that pay you more, you're probably going to win, most likely, right? So that's it. That's all we're playing here. And I'm going to show you this is the exact same thing, but instead of it being a board, it's just a list of websites. And I explain, I'm like, look, on page 1, there's basically 13 spots. Okay, there's 3 in the maps, 1, 2, 3, at least at the time of recording. We know Google might change this by the time you're watching this. Maybe there's 1, maybe there's 10. But right now, as I'm recording this, there's 3. There's 3 spots in the maps, and then underneath, they call this the organic or the SERPs, and there's 10 of those. So there's 13. So guess what, Mr. Business Owner, Mrs. Business Owner? He or she who controls the most amount of those properties is going to win, right? Because when is the last time you went to page 2 and called somebody to come and fix your toilet or to come and clean your carpet or to clean your windows? I'll answer it for you. Never, okay? You don't go to page 2. You stay on page 1. And that's why Google does that. So here's the game. We want to help you monopolize the front page of Google. So you're going to have your website, your listing. If you have it, if you don't, it's okay. I let them know that so they don't feel like they're excluded. If you do, great. If it's ranking, great. We're going to come in with a separate property, meaning just a separate website, and we're going to build something that's basically the city in service. So if we're doing concrete, I'll say, we're going to build St. George Concrete, or we're going to build LasVegasConcrete.com. And what we're going to do, Mr. Business Owner, is we're going to do all of our little tricks and stuff. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but we're going to get it to show up on page 1 of Google when people type in concrete Las Vegas, so that when they search for that, they're going to click on the website that we build, and they're going to click on that number, and they're going to call it, and then we're just going to push all those phone calls to you. That's it. Very simple. So think of it like this. We're just trying to get more of those spots. So if there's 13 spots, if we can get 1 up in the map section and 1 in the organic section, that's 2. And then if yours is already ranking, then you can get another 1 in the map spot, and you can get 1 in the organic. That's 4 out of 13. Do the math. That's a large percentage of the actual property, right? And guess what? Those top spots, those number 1, the number 1 organic and the map stuff, that's like the boardwalk and the park place. If we can get those, we're going to win. Okay. Think of it. And then I say something like this. I'm like, you've been fishing, right? And I kind of just segue into this. You've been fishing, of course, right? So it's kind of like this. You're going fishing and you're sitting there with your pole. You got 1 pole, and then you got your buddy, and somehow he's been able to get 3 fishing licenses. He's got 3 fishing poles in 3 different spots on the lake. Who's most likely going to catch the most fish? Okay, same exact thing. All we're doing by doing this strategy is getting you more poles in the water, which is giving you a better chance of getting those fish, which are your customers. Very simple. So that's how I explained it. I explained it to them, and now they're like, oh, duh, that makes sense. And you can also see, and I'm like, look, we're on the same team here. Like, if they come off of your fishing pole or they come off of my fishing pole, it still goes to you. It doesn't matter. it's all going to the same place. We're just trying to get as many fishing poles out in the water. We're trying to get as many pieces of real estate as possible that all funnels back to you. We want to help you monopolize Google. And when I say that, they get all pumped because they're like, dude, I'm going to be a monopoly in my little town and my little tree service or whatever, right? So I believe it's very important. Guys, I would start explaining that to the business owner. And the place that I do this is right before I get on the Zoom close, I will send a video that kind of overcomes a bunch of objections, and I explain how we're getting the leads. And also this helps them know that we're legit. Like, they're not just buying these leads and flipping them, like we're actually generating them. So I send that right before the close. And then when I get on the close, I also review it really quickly. I want these guys to understand this. And I also don't want them going and clicking on my ad or thinking that there's another competitor in town. So guys, again, from somebody that's done it, not just talked about it, this is what I do every single time. Give it a try.